Yeah, I got 5 points to drop. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Biz Shiz Show, episode 20. I got that right.
Oh, damn,
If I
I
can
put it
count.
wrong. I put 19 on the thing. That old trick.
Awesome. Sorry, we're a little bit late tonight. Nick got caught in traffic with his new Uber driving gig.
No, I got lost,
Uh,
which is
well,
just like getting caught in traffic. No, not quite
that
like
happened.
Yeah, I'm in Christchurch, and they have these one-way streets and stuff. It's a weird place.
Aren't you lost every day?
All the people in Christchurch are going to be hating me now.
You're just a lost kind of human, aren't you? Just a bit lost, mate. Need to find some purpose or your why.
Oh, mate. Be nice. Be nice.
Know your why, brother.
Nice.
Yeah, welcome to the Biz Shiz Show, the place where we just have a yarn about business in the real world, right? Nick swears a lot. Nick says politically incorrect things. Nick says controversial things, and I'm a good church-going boy. Welcome to the show.
If you're on here, never does any of it. Yeah, right.
Such an angel, mate. Such an angel, mate. I just want to say shout out to Dan. I know you kind of tune in every week. Michelle, it's been cool kind of interacting with you as well. I hope you get those things sorted. Yeah, and Polly, what's up, Polly? Man, there's a bunch of you that kind of interact with us, and we appreciate that. And everyone else too that continues to tune in. We hope you get value, right? That's the intention of this thing. And shit, man, I think when I started, I would have loved to have something like this, right? Yeah, but I'm not saying that we're for everyone. Yeah, tonight's show, what are we talking about? Leverage, right? Leverage in your business. And the gurus and the ebook dudes, they're going to tell you all kinds of weird stuff. Right, but we've got some points to share tonight, and just to drop that on you, I'm going to go off and do some sharing. But the points we're going to cover tonight are key concepts to consider around leverage in your business and kind of what it means. Leveraging through teams.
Hey, Polly, sorry.
Leveraging through systems, leveraging through productization. And there's a couple other things that I want to kind of throw in if we get enough time, and as a little bit of a bonus kind of thing. I'll go off and do some sharing. Hey, Polly. Yeah. I'll go off and do some sharing and be back soon.
So excited you got the thing right, Polly. Actually, I'm going to chuck that link up. Hi, Faye. Lovely to have you on. Hey,
Faye,
I'm going to be in Dunedin tomorrow. So if you want to get a coffee or something in the morning, let me know. Can do. Now, where's that thing that you sent me? Yeah. So yeah, leverage in your business. Going to be a pretty rapid fire topic tonight. I think it's something that sometimes it's easy to gloss over how powerful it can be to have some good leverage in your business, and to have whether it be people, whether it be leverage over your time, whether it be leverage over your cash, to be able to really enable you to grow and be more effective at what you do. So I'm just going to chuck up that link there in the thing. So that is if you're watching and you haven't liked the thing, so that your name pops up, so that you can get your name up there like Faye and Polly. Yeah, sweet. So yeah, so I'm keen to hear from who is on. There's 20 of you guys jumped on already watching. So how are you utilizing leverage? What does leverage mean to you within your business? Where's it worked really, really well? Where have you struggled to get leverage? Where have you had challenges around duplication, where you've tried to put a system in place or tried to outsource something and it's gone really, really badly? Let's have a chat about it. See if we can, help you work through that. Yeah. Who is on with us tonight? There's a bunch of you on. Where do we see that? On the wrong screen. How are you getting on there,
bro? Yep.
Slowly. Yeah, classic Joe.
Yeah. So what did you want to? Do you want to talk about finance? You want to leverage your finance?
The cogs tick slowly, don't they?
Yeah, mate.
No, look, I'm just thinking, like, where is, where are some of the things? Because leverage, I think we can be quite linear in the way we think about leverage and saying, oh, it's just about, it's just about how we're scaling our business. But there's so many things that we can leverage: our time, we can leverage our resources, we can leverage our HR, we can outsource things, which is another form of getting leverage. So, yeah, just want to, jam on some points.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm keen to hear from is, what the listeners, what you guys have kind of, successfully put into your business. And you can even just use a couple of words, right? We'll know what you mean, kind of thing. But what have you done in your business, to get some leverage that's worked really, really well? Because, yeah, there's lots of forms of it. And I think that's probably where I want to start is, I think we kind of underestimate it sometimes, and I think kind of everything starts.
That's what I was getting at. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything starts from like mindset and just some key concepts for that I think I see business owners not considering around leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And those sorry.
I was going to say, do you want to just to kick us off? Do you want to jump on Polly's comment there?
Yeah, good question, Polly. Look, and look, I know a little bit about your business, Polly. So I know a little bit about your business, Polly. And hey, what's up, Stu? I know a little bit about your business, and so you're already getting leverage, right? And so those things that I kind of mentioned at the start, leverage through team, leverage through systems, leverage through productization, leverage through digital, in terms of mass communication like social media. I'm not talking about bulk emails. Not really a big fan of those, especially in small business. I think we can get overly fixated with automation and leverage to some extent. But leverage, right? It's kind of where you use something small to do something big, right? To put things really, really simply. Like a fulcrum kind of thing. I hope that helps, Polly. And we'll go through more examples. Hey, Julianne. Julianne's keto. Is Julianne keto?
No. Gluten free.
Gluten free.
And she's
My bad. Sorry, Julianne.
Happening.
Cool.
I'll give a quick answer to Polly real quick. Is there was a post in our group this week from a good friend of mine, Laura, who used to do some design work for me, who has been working with Dose & Co for the last 18 months or so. And Dose & Co has just been picked up by Kim Kardashian. So she's managed to leverage her tiny little brand to now a brand that she's done the design work for that has now gone completely global. And she's now no longer working with them because they've outgrown her requirements. But that's an example of how she's leveraged her relationships, people that she knew. She was a friend with a lady who started this brand and worked really, really hard. And she's now leveraged off the back of someone else's success to become the designer that worked with Dose & Co to get them to that level. So there's an example of how you can leverage something that's a little bit more intangible.
Oh yeah, right. That was my surprise one. But anyway, we'll come to that. Yeah, and so I hope that helps define things, right? Leverage is kind of just working smart. That's another way you could put it. But there's 4 kind of things that I wanted people to consider, right? In terms of their business, right? One is that your focus is super, super important. Right, so if you're doing invoicing, man, that's something that I'm bashing up against lately. Is just a lot of people doing the books and stuff like that, and there's an example to help define that. Leverage. What leverage is when you're not leveraged and you're kind of just doing everything, running around like crazy.
Yeah.
And you're doing repeatable.
That was me, man, running my business first time around. Same time.
Yeah, right. And so that's all we're doing, right? And that same goes with mentoring and coaching, is we're just trying to help you get some perspective or some insight into what the journey ahead can look like, so that you can start to expedite your journey, right? And you don't have to muck around for 5 years trying to figure it all out. Yeah, so that's an example of what leverage isn't, Polly. So I hope that helps you to define what it actually is. And the thing that I think we need to consider, man, is our focus. Like, what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on sweeping floors? Are we focusing on doing the same kind of task over and over again? Or 80% of it is the same every damn time, right? And so we're not well leveraged. Those are good signs of not being well leveraged. And there's a massive cost of the business, largely in the form of opportunity cost, when you're doing those things, right? Because arguably you can be growing this business, yes, with sales, yes, with marketing and advertising, but also with, strategic partnerships. So Khloe Kardashian didn't really, she just kind of bought into the business, right? Which I imagine they do with every kind of little brand that they like. They kind of chuck 50 grand in it or whatever. I wouldn't say that they're $1 million investments, but maybe I'm wrong. The other thing I think we don't consider is long term. Oh, I'm fine doing the books. So wait, when you're a $1 million a year business,
it's not just the opportunity cost of revenue, but it's the mental space and the energy cost on you as the entrepreneur, because you can't perform when you're in the space doing those types of tasks that aren't really what you're good at. That you could be putting into growing your business, tenfold. So I think
100 million%, right? So focus, right? That's what I mean by focus. Yeah, where's your focus, right? And your focus is your most valuable thing. Like time is close second, but it's about what you do with that time, and your focus will determine what you're doing with that time, right? And your focus is kind of derived from where your mindset's at. Am I abundance orientated? Am I strategic orientated? Or am I tactically orientated and maybe somewhat scarcity oriented? I can't afford someone to do my books. I want to do a show on marketing budget too, because that's an interesting one, right? Marketers come and say, "What's your marketing budget?" I'm like, bro, why are you asking a small business what their marketing budget is? If they probably had a marketing budget, they probably wouldn't be a small business, right? Anyways, the third thing I wanted to hit on was kind of long term. I think people forget about long term, right? Like, how are you going to get to the long term if you're doing the books and you're doing the delivery and you're doing the coding and you're doing the sales and you're doing the marketing, and you're trying to manage the website build on Wix, and then you got Johnny or Sarah, who's your mate's daughter or son, doing the social media. It's just weird, right? And maybe your spouse does the books, and it's just how are you going to get scale? How are you going to get to the long term? Or you're just going to do this for ages? So you're the boss here. You're in control largely of this business and how it all works. And just don't build it so you're stuck there for longer than you need to be. I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I think it is kind of natural, particularly when you're in that infancy stage of your business, to kind of want to do everything.
Oh, I agree.
And,
I agree.
And so it's certainly not about us sitting here, trying to bash anyone or give them, but it's more about giving you guys some perspective of thinking, not 1 week in advance, but where are you going to be in 6 months? Where are you going to be in a year? When are you going to be in 18 months time? And that's really kind of comes back to, we talked about planning the other week. It's like really starting to think, okay, at what point am I going to need to get some leverage on my marketing or on my, my processes, or on my delivery, or on my, back end accounting and that type of stuff. So I think that's really the perspective we're trying to offer here, rather than particularly just beating on one task, because some people actually, maybe they are better to be doing the finances and then better to find someone else to, be the CEO type role in their business. But that does depend on the business, and it does depend on the entrepreneur. Yeah.
Strongly agree. Right. So so point number 3 was, think longer term. The other one is, think scalability. Because if you're doing everything, it actually paradoxically limits you from scaling. Mm-hmm. So don't do that, for too long, right? And you're right, infancy, but we're kind of thinking, I think that's the perspective that we bring. I think a lot of our audience are kind of under $1 million a year. And so we're kind of bringing that perspective, orange, or, kind of around that $1 million a year kind of level, which typically you kind of have 10 team members or somewhere around that, and kind of FTEs and contractors and all that kind of stuff.
5 to 10, depending on the
industry, business, margins and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we want to bring. And so look, if you are 1 or under 5, team members, FTEs, then we're just trying to show you what maybe the 10 FTEs kind of looks like, or $1 million a year kind of looks like on average. Right, and then we come to the real things, man, because as much as we talk about all these things, and that's what I often find, with all the business science, people are like, oh, how do I get more leads, or how do I get more traffic to my website, or do I use WordPress or Squarespace or Wix to build my website? And it's like, really, dude, those things are insignificant, right? And don't get me wrong, you need to kind of focus on those for a little bit, but I think, what we really bump into is, what's actually holding you back, right? Why aren't you leveraging? right? And so they'll say, oh, because I'm at infancy stage and it's cheaper for me to do the books. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's really a mindset thing that's holding you back, right? Because you can't create that leverage because, again, if you're smart with your time and you do pass that off as an example and you're using it for good things like marketing and sales or generating more revenue, whatever way that might be, that's the way to do it, right? And so you're, thinking small, overly thinking small, right? When you're kind of ready to go, but you're holding the business back. Usually comes down to
and
mindset.
particularly if you've got you've got a product or a service that's in high demand and people are really, seeking you out and you are growing, that's the time to really be aware of, hey, frick, am I being the leverage? Am I being the lever, or am I just, am I the dead weight on the other end right now? Because that's if you're in, talking with Dan, about his Daniel that follows us, his lighting things, like they're freaking awesome, man, and he's got demand, but he's trying to print them all himself and all the rest of it, and he's still in that infancy stage, so he needs to do that. But there's certainly going to come a time where he's got to go, crikey, I've got to get out of my own way and become the lever and not be the weight, because he's got a product that's cool. And that's where, like Julianne, she's aware of that, and she's done the online model. She's done some really cool stuff to pull in some leverage, man, like going out to her community and saying, hey, we're doing this trade show, and I need some people that have, understand the difficulties of, what it's like living as a celiac to come and help us out on the stand. And so, there's a great way that she's leveraged not only her customers in her marketplace, but she's also managed to leverage a trade show to get in front of the right type of people. So that's like, really smart, sophisticated level thinking for what is really still an early level business, which is, I'm so excited for what Julian does. It's cool. It's got wheels.
Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Let's roll for these bullet points anyway, right? Are we going to chuck those off the screen, or we don't need to?
You just need to tell me what you want up.
Leveraging through team. Leveraging through team is the first one, right? So the first one was some key concepts to consider, which took us maybe 20 minutes. Okay, so leveraging through team, and this is one that's kind of timely for me, I think, because those of us that are doing well in this economy, right? And I don't think, in my opinion, we've really felt the recession yet, right? So if you're struggling now,
Andy, yep,
yeah. So if you're struggling now, I think you really need to start talking to the finance people, whether it's, and then definitely looking at your numbers, man, and start really asking some hard truths and looking at it objectively and just saying, hey, have we got legs here, or do we need to significantly change either the business or our offering or our model, our advertising, our marketing, whatever, man. Have a real good thing, or even just change the whole damn business as in, move on to the next one kind of thing.
Yeah,
anyways,
just not in the right game anymore, right?
Yeah, but team, I think, is really good because, if you talk about, the global economy's kind of shrunken about 15%, you could say, hey, there's 100 businesses in my industry, and now there's about 85. And so those 85, you should be doing okay. And then even out those 85 remaining, there's opportunity there, right? And I think it's, it's sad, but it's true, man, and survival of the fittest and all that kind of stuff, man. It's like, this is opportunity time for those that are in a strong position and got their thinking organized, and then their plans organized, and then their businesses and all the little business units organized. So leveraging through team, I think, is really, really timely. Think about team, right? Think about, the 5 key areas of business: finance, strategy, delivery of your product or service, including leadership and management, and team, sales and marketing. And just think about, am I teamed up, or do I have team, to bring on in the future, right? Example, one of the first key hires, right? And again, if you kind of got a business that's under 5 people, so you're probably rolling, around 500K, give or take, probably 100 or 200K, depending on the industry and the market and stuff that you're in and the business model that you run. But generally kind of speaking, one of the first things I think is, get a good accountant, because they're on the payroll anyway, and you probably chuck them $2-3 grand a year. Get a good bookkeeper, because, dude, I've seen it enough times. You doing the books, man, 80% of the time, it's not the right decision.
Do you want me to go firsthand here? I went through how many bookkeepers, man? Like probably wasn't until, you know, I finally got hooked up with Delilah, who sometimes tunes in and watches. But man, we had, I would say over that 10-year period, I would have been through at least half a dozen. And oh man, you know, a bookkeeper that actually knows what they're doing and can actually like get your shit right, your reports at the end of the month, is just, it's worth its weight in gold and then some. Like not knowing those numbers, not knowing the things that's going on within your business is the worst place to be. And that is number one way. And I was going to say, to your point about leveraging your team, like team doesn't necessarily mean employees. Team means people that are on your team that are there to help you and support your business. And whether it's a contractor or whatever it is, but I think that there needs to be a professional relationship, not a friend's mother or auntie or whatever, or cousin, or, you know, that we, you know, or like you said, you know, your mate's daughter's doing your social media. It's really having some, as you start to scale, having professional people on your team, because not doing that really cost me, and it took a long time for me to get that stuff right, and a lot of stress, and having you know, having bookkeepers that were just not up to play with the systems we were using, and weren't up to the speed that we needed, really ended up costing us a lot on our bottom line. Yeah. So that's my little rant there, but I hope that offers a
100
little
million
perspective.
percent, man.
Yeah.
Right, 8 years it took you, so you better get sorted now. And so there's one thing we can do. Like, I can save most of you 8 years, man. Like, you know, we know a really good bookkeeper, right? And I think Donna, who kind of tunes in sometimes, you know, she's pretty good.
Yep.
And then Hillary, who I recommend to 90% of my clients, is kick ass, right?
Yeah,
And she sits in that middle space between an accountant who's supposed to be strategic, and a bookkeeper who's supposed to be clerical. She kind of operates in this space, but you kind of get it for this rate. So if you do want to have a chat to a bookkeeper about what booking is about, I mean, ask us too, right? Happy to kind of give you some perspective on that one, or just hit me up, and I'll introduce you to Hillary, and you guys can just have a chat, right? And then the other thing, dude, this is serious, right? And this covers so much of what we already talked about. Is an assistant, or I call my Sharon, the chief organizer of Jung. Like, you talk about focus, you talk about energy.
Organize himself, that's for sure.
Hell's no. No, that is not my strong point. That is not my strong point. Me sitting in front of businesses, you know, picking them apart and getting to know them and looking for areas of growth and
doing it well, right?
Right. And that's the other concept that I forgot to drop in. You know, business is a team sport, just like the All Blacks. You got to play your spot. You know, and I could put you on the wing.
Everyone watching, mate. We don't want to talk about the All Blacks after Sunday.
Yeah, they should just
old Rico getting a slam dunk there, eh?
Yeah, they should just stop mucking around, man, and stop cuddling and shit, and just play rugby league, bro.
Oh man, yeah. No one wants to play rugby league, bro. Dude. Move to Aussie with that talk.
Dude, I think even the Aussies don't even want to play rugby, mate. It's Aussie rules, eh? Is their most
good at it.
Yeah.
So leveraging the assistant. How has leveraging an assistant helped you personally in your business?
Personally, dude, and I've seen it with my clients too, man. It's crazy, dude. The amount of focus you get back, right? Because you're not having to muck around with your calendar, muck around with, forgot to send this attachment or this document, or, you know, the back and forth emails. Oh, send me some times that suit. Oh, none of these times suit. How about Thursday at 3 p.m.? No, that doesn't suit either, you know? And it's just jumping in and trying to do that on your phone when you're out on the road, or, you know, distracting you from, you know, whatever it is you're doing, trying to build some ebook, or
so you'll just send her a voice message now via WhatsApp. Hey, reply to this email from Bob, say this, and that's it. And
100%. Yeah, right. And then, you know, and she's so good that she'll do things that I forget, right? She'll go, oh yeah, well, I attached this because you should have sent that attachment. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. You know, I flew to somewhere, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, the Uber was here. to pick me up in travel time to get to the place. You know, the tickets were already in my phone, and it's just, dude, it's boss. And you know what it does do, right? And I think that's where we've got to be responsible too, is right. It just gives you that focus back. That people call it time, but it's actually focus. And there's a calculation actually. I should share the blog. One of my ex-colleagues from the Ice House wrote a blog about the calculations of it, right? And if she's on, you know, or you know, your assistant, whether it's a male or a female, you know, if they're on like, you know, if Sharon's on like 60K, dude, if you can give her a 10-minute task every day, right, and which is, as an example, kind of organizing a meeting with someone, if you can give her that one task, which saves you 10 minutes a day, it can be stupid, man, and it can save you, like, if your business is rolling around, you know, let's say $300,000, it can save you about $500,000 a year, right? Or you can get an ROI, I should say, of about $500,000 a year, because over the year, over that year, you know, you should be able to crank up the revenue to that number. So getting an assistant is logically, financially, and from a focus and stress perspective, and that your focus is your most valuable thing as an entrepreneur, man. You just got to clear that focus out as much as you can. So leveraging through team, obviously you got to build a finance team, accountant, bookkeeper, obviously Xero, or MyOb. They're the two best, really. Strategy, that's something you can't really outsource, but you can build a team around it. Get some jokers like me and Nick around you. I'm not big on accountants sitting in strategic meetings, and I'm not overly big on marketers sitting in strategic meetings, but I get their input into the strategic meetings.
There's a space for that. There's a space for that, but it depends about the, you know, like I don't think the marketing and the accountant are so much involved, and I don't think that the business strategy is so much involved with the marketing strategy, but there is crossover. And again, it will depend on your size of your business and you know, the goals of the marketing team, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you got some good accountants that can do business strategy, and you got some good marketers that can do business strategy, like Stu, who's tuning in. But generally, you just want someone who can look at it holistically and knows business models, because that's really what you want from your coach or your business advisor, is that they know models. That'll work kind of differently, and you know, you don't know what you don't know, and you want them to fill that gap, and you want them to think holistically about the business, as opposed to finance, who typically look historically. Typically, sorry, accountants, love you, but you guys are a bit dorky. And then marketers, who, you know, and then marketers
live up here in the future, and accountants live back there in the past, and it's like two different languages, right? Yeah.
But a good business advisor.
Not knocking on anyone who does those jobs.
Marketers are crazy optimists, and accountants are lame pessimists. No, joking, exaggerating. But yeah, right. And then obviously in the delivery, you want to bring people up through ops. You know, whatever you do, whether it's a product-based business or a service-based business, you want to bring senior team members up, right? And that's just part of good leadership, and that's just part of you know, culture and staff retention, if you like those words. Right, because they want to work at a place where they're going to grow, and so part of your obligation in having a business is getting the sales and marketing right, getting the product right, getting the finances right, and paying all the taxes. But also it's providing a great place for people to come and do their best work, sales, and then marketing, right? And marketing is kind of easy because there's a million agencies out there that say, "Hey, we'll get you 1,000 leads."
Marketers on the internet,
you know, and in all honesty, 99% of them are shit. And if you look at their businesses, they're shit. But there are the minority, man, that are really, really great. Like Stu.
You're going to piss some people off, man.
I know.
We just got an angry face too.
Whoa.
I know.
Yeah. Ooh. But you know, marketing is in business. Accounting is in business. Business is business. And marketing is a part of business. And I think marketers forget that because they think that they have all the answers to the universe sometimes. Look, I don't know I'm pissing you off, but you know what I mean too, right? If you're honest with yourself and you look at your industry, I'm not fucking that far off, if we're honest.
Oh yeah.
I agree
with you. And I think, you know, we offline we spoke last week about some of the marketing stuff that we see, and you know, it's a shame that digital marketers don't.
You talked about it for like 15 minutes, and I'm trying to get to bed.
Own businesses first. If you're so good at it, start driving some leads to your own business. Anyway, rant over. Bro, what about finances?
Like overweight. What are we getting into finances now?
Yeah, I mean we're pushing time, so let's just talk
about. We are pushing time. But what's finances next? Was it? Go, you go.
I'm
No,
going.
yeah, I did the
Okay.
five. Right? 5 key areas where you want to leverage your team up. No, the next one is the next one
It's not
is
leveraging finance.
no, you can jam on that though. You mentioned it.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good topic. Because there's good ways to do it and there's bad ways to do it, and I've done them both. And it's important to really understand your cash cycle within your business. So when you produce an invoice, that doesn't necessarily mean you've got cash. And there's a cycle for every business, from when you first invest to getting your business off the ground. You've got to you've got to put money into marketing, branding. You've got to you've got to buy some infrastructure, whatever that might be, laptops, or it could be equipment, plant, that kind of stuff. And then you've got to then deliver your service to the market, and then you've got to get paid for that. So there's a cycle with which your cash is going to go out and come back in again. And it's really important that you know that, because once you know that, you can start to use some of your accounting. Here's where the accounting comes in. You can start to use some of your historical data to then gain leverage over what your business can potentially earn, and therefore can borrow. And obviously right now with the whole situation, good financials are going to be the only right way that you're going to be able to do any lending, and they are going to be pretty stringent on that. But money is actually very, very cheap right now, so there's an opportunity, if you can get your mindset right, to actually leverage some of this cheap money, and take advantage of those low interest rates, and use it to inject capital into your business where it's needed.
Strongly agree with that point, right? That's a really big concept, and I'm not sure if your bars did it justice, but yeah. Like seriously, man, we need to be looking at our right. If you've got a plan, talk to your accountant and stuff like that, right? And talk to your marketer as
Mm-hmm.
well. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously your business advisor, whoever that is. And dude, if you can sort your shit out, man, and then you can take a punt. Now remember, business is about risk. Right? And you're in a really good spot right now. If you can see an opportunity, you've got some effective marketing that you can turn on. You've got a really kick-ass product that delivers it, and you're in hot demand, and you've got a really kick-ass product or service that really delivers its outcome that your brand promises that it or implies that it will. Dude, you got to crank this thing up, man. There's market share to be taken right now, right? And yeah, look, and that's just evolution, man, right? Like it's just survival of the fittest, man. And there's people that are tired, there's people that are old, there's people that are sick, there's people that carry too much debt, and they're going to struggle in these tough times that are still coming. And your obligation to you, your family, and your team is to sort your shit out and go.
And if you've been in business a while now and you've got a solid business, there would be massive opportunity right now for you to acquire people that are in your space, competitors, associated businesses. And this is a massive way for you to gain leverage. You can go and pick up their plant, their equipment, their existing database, their customers, plus their revenue, for cents on the dollar, because there are distressed businesses that just need it out. And it could be a partnership, it could be a strategic partnership, it could be an acquisition, it could be a merger. There's so many opportunities.
Strongly agree.
Setting up a
these topics, these two topics that you kind of just brought up. Two live stories of clients today that did both of those things, right? So one's like a waste management company, and they went under the COVID, where banking kind of relaxed, and they kind of refinanced, and they halved their debt repayments. So they were paying something like $70K a month in debt repayments because they have so much gear, because it's a capital intensive, a commercial industrial kind of business. And they halved it down to like $35K. Yeah, 35. So that's now every month they've got another $35K just because they refinance under the new banking conditions, under the recession or the bounce or whatever you want to call it.
Bro, and
$35K.
I talked about last time the $5,000 hour with the insurance guy. This is just another perfect example of that.
Yeah,
reviewing 100%. And leveraging your finances. That's mad.
The other one you talked about was an acquisition, right? And so I won't name this one, but health practitioner business, not the hugest kind of thing, kind of rolling maybe 300, 400 grand a year. Dude, they just picked up, I guess you call it a competitor, but just another health practitioner, in the neighboring suburb. Dude, and I reckon this business would have been worth, I don't know, at least 100K. Dude, they picked it up for like 35K. Or 37, I think.
Cents on the dollar, right? 30 cents. 37 cents.
Crazy. That's crazy,
now they
right?
can,
And
now
yeah,
they
look,
can streamline the two, centralized offices, all of that kind of stuff. You know, cut down your overhead. There's so many things that can be done.
right. And I'm not saying everyone needs to go and do acquisitions, right? Like, I think
Right.
you probably need a,
100%.
yeah. Sorry, I'll throw that out with a word of warning because that is a little bit complex. Obviously, you need to have a good accountant who has been on the team. Obviously, your books need to be in order, so you probably have a bookkeeper. You've had one for a while. You probably have a business advisor on the team, and you either have a marketing agency that's tacked on as well. Because that's the thing. So for him,
I
it's a
think
no-brainer.
it's a skill set, right? He's pretty entrepreneurially capable. He's been doing it for a while. He's figured his shit out. He's ready to make that. Would that be a fair
Right,
assessment?
and when you look at his business and you look at those 5 key areas, they're not even that strong, but they're strong enough that he can go and he can go and chuck all of those systems, all his financials, the good accountant, the zero, the bookkeeper, they just go over to the new business. When that comes in, that the new business just slots into the strategy because they already had growth and marketing kind of going. Delivery of the team, right? They already had all their margins right, all their products right. He's looking at productizing his health services. So he's bringing out some products. Sales is pretty straightforward in their industry. And then, he's got some marketing that's been proven. So then they just bring in this thing and then they crank it up.
And come back to what your waste management guy did. That's going to happen with this guy with his marketing costs. All of a sudden, he's got 2 lots of database, 2 lots of clients to market to. So his market straight away, his market cost is half. Ad-libbing, but it's half of what it was before. So So man, I reckon, cool. Like that really, I think that hopefully gives a little mind expansion for some people around leveraging finances, because it's not necessarily about just grabbing a credit card and putting everything on there to get shit, which is one strategy that people do to start their business, but then they realize they've got to pay it back. But there's smart things that you can do that can really.
And that's the thing, right? He did his sums, man. On his 37K, which is probably going to pull out of his mortgage, which is not the best scenario. But again, this is just such a great opportunity in these times. The health practitioner was a little bit tired, probably carrying a little bit of debt, needed to get out, rent with the COVID stuff and all that kind of. Oh, Ravi. What's up, Ravi? It was just a great opportunity, right? And he let the health practitioner go, right? And she wanted to go and sail around the world or whatever she wanted to do. And so everybody wins kind of thing. Hey, we're pushing time, right? So we'll go into systems and productization. Systems and productization. Look, what I'll say about systems, and I want to shout out to Julianne, right? Like, leverage is obviously digital enablement, which the government is a term that the government's throwing around at the moment. But build a digital brand, use social media, which is high-speed internet, smart devices, and social networking. To do really, in the big scheme of things, really cost-effective marketing, right? As opposed to 20 years ago when you had to buy a big billboard or do like $50,000 worth of radio advertising or whatever the hell you did. Well done, Julianne. Leveraging through systems. So systems is things like Xero, MyOb, obviously, Facebook Ad Manager, Google Suite, Google Calendar, using your Siri, using your Google Talk, all that kind of stuff. But also there's systems that you need to Zoom. There's also things you need to develop yourself, like how can we make cakes more consistently and quicker, right? And so it's developing a system of how you make your cakes, how you do your plumbing, or how you do your landscaping, or whatever it is you do, your dentisting or your physioing, or whatever it is you do. So systemization, right? And that's probably, to be honest, if I look at that acquisition example, man, he had a lot of systems in his business in those key areas. And again, I wouldn't give him 10 out of 10. Like, a lot of them were kind of like 5 out of 5. But he's got systems. But again, hey, who does books? Oh, yeah, I do. As an advisor, I'm like, oh, fuck. We're screwed here. There is no system. You are the system. That's not a system. That's you. We can't be McDonald's. We can't leverage. We can't scale out until we fix that. And then it's some mindset thing about no, the $20 an hour I pay, and then I got the time it takes to train them up and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, bro, read this blog. It shows you that you're sitting on 200, 300 grand a year that you're not getting because you've got this mindset around doing the books, as an example, right? And doing the marketing. There's another story there. Pretty big business, tuned into the show. You know who you are, right? And we spent 30 minutes having a chat. And it was like, why are you trying to do the marketing? Right? Pretty big business. They could probably afford an agency. But it's like, just trying to be cost effective and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, how good are you at marketing? How good are you ever going to be at marketing? Versus this person who's, going to charge you 20 grand a year, but they're amazing at marketing. get them in there and get them doing the job and crank your business up, and you do the thing that you do, which is making the widgets. Okay, so focus again. Just focus.
Point, right?
Yeah, and then leveraging through productization, right? So productize the shit if you're a services business, productize your shit if you're a products business, then bundle it up, package it up, all that stuff. We've talked about this too, but you can jam on that. Anything else you want to jam on? But that's pretty much it. Maybe we should ask.
I feel like I just want to chuck Ravi's comment up because I feel like it's a real kind of. Well, it's just nice to get some fan love, mate. Thanks, Ravi. So yeah, like how you say how it is, keep it real. Yeah, it's your show. Your audience should not get
to me.
Should not. Yeah, obviously, because you're the offensive one. So
I love you, Ravi.
Being a business is not sugar coated unless you're a baker. But and I'm glad you guys show real and raw info, right? And experiences. So yeah, so whoever that angry face was, that's all good. Like if you're upset, like send us a DM and tell us why you're upset. But otherwise, welcome to the real world,
Hey Ravi, is it okay if I post this on social? I want to post this on social. Can we post this on our
take a photo of it now while it's up if you want.
I just did, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ravi doesn't mind if we post it.
Who was the angry face? That's cool.
I don't know.
You got to piss some people off, right? Whatever. If you're not pissing people off, then you're probably not being.
You're not trying. You're not. Fuck, man. Like, I always had this theory that if I'm not getting complaints about my marketing or my the things that I'm doing, getting out there, I'm not being, I'm not out there enough. I used to do this trick, years ago. With you hire these. I don't know if you probably can't still do it now.
It was an accident. It was an accident.
Oh, there you go.
You've got to go and like StreamYard or something like that. There's a link up the top that I don't know how to comment, but there's a link up the top. You can show us your name.
I'll post it again. There you go. If you click that one there,
then we know who you are. It was an accident.
Yeah. But we're not going to hate on you. So yeah, so we used to go. Those
Dude,
flashing
it's okay
road
with the angry
signs?
face. It's okay with the angry face.
The flashing road signs that say like road closed ahead, don't go this way or whatever. We used to hire those, bro, and we'd put like an advertising like product this from $49 this weekend only. Park it on the side of the road outside the shop. And then we got away with it for a while. Got away with it for a while.
I reckon the traffic management company probably had something to say about this sign.
Yeah, no, they were cool with it. They were like, whatever, you can hire it for $500 the weekend, whatever it was. They were cool with it. But yeah, we did get a couple of complaints to NZTA and blah 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 blah, and we had to stop doing
taking an official thing. And who cares? Hey, wait,
you're pushing it. That whole like you're gonna get out there, you're gonna push your brand, you're gonna do some shit that's a bit crazy and a bit out there,
Mark Ellis faked the eruption of. For one of his campaigns, I think he launched mint.com, and he had this video, and Rangi Toto was in the background, and it was like smoking, and he's like, it's gonna erupt, and then he was like, he left that ad or whatever, and then like the next ad was like, hey, and if you want to buy gold and silver, go to mint.com. Yeah, you got to be controversial, like sometimes, right? Yeah. You know what you should do? You should do a pineapple pen parody. For the Biz Shiz show, pineapple pen.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay, Uncle Nick. Yeah, I have a pen. I have an apple. I have a apple pen, or whatever it is. You don't know Crazy Frog? Do you know Crazy Frog?
No, I don't have kids, John.
Oh my god, man, you're seriously too old, eh?
I have a cute dog. That's what I have.
Dude, you gotta stop hanging out on Tinder, bro, and you gotta just hang out on like normal social media, like the rest of us.
Let's just go from there to closing thoughts. Unless you want to have any updates on Biz Shiz.
Leveraging automation. I have a robot running through and doing 200 repetitive tasks on my LinkedIn in another tab Chrome while I listen to you jokers. I love that.
Jung's a joker. He's
a joke, man. Shit. Like I like Ravi's feedback, and thank you, Ravi. Look, and some people don't like us, right? And some people do, man. Because like shit, business is not sugar coated. Business is real, and shit, we're doing this for the rest of our lives because I ain't getting a job.
And like the day I got into business, I reckon I made 1 million new mates that all wanted deals and all that. But like really, like you also made a whole bunch of people that didn't like you because all of a sudden you're putting yourself out there. So that's part of it.
Yep, that is part
Yeah,
of it,
look,
mate.
I love what you're doing there. Doing the repetitive tasks. I assume that's I don't know. I don't even know. LinkedIn's not my jam. So, but good on you, whoever you are. Facebook.
No,
user.
we need to
Yeah,
get on LinkedIn.
I'm gonna delegate outsource that. Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, that's Crazy Frog. You got to do something like that, like go viral. That's what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I love what he's doing. I don't like duck soup though. I don't know. I didn't know you could still do duck soup. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks, Faye.
Oh, that's lovely. So, did you want to do
Oh,
coffee? Coffee, Faye? We're going to do coffee. Let me know. Thursday morning.
dude, do not
And
use our platform for your personal stuff, yo.
no,
It's not
she's
fair.
in our squad, man. What are you even talking about? You're a dork.
Oh, yeah, cool. How's the squad going?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Marilyn.
Are you sick of your facilitator yet?
I'm sick of my bloody you.
Hey, mate, I'm the leverage on this show. I'm the fucking leverage on this show. You're the fulcrum.
You're the wheelbarrow, mate.
Fuck that up. I fucked that analogy up. Anyway.
All right, we're gonna go. We're 40. We're five over time.
Okay, go.
15
You
over
close it
time.
out. You go. You close it
Close
out.
it
Love you
out.
guys. Keep it real. Sorry we're controversial. Sorry we're a bit boring, but
No,
hey,
we're not sorry. Sorry, not
there's
sorry.
some good shit in there.
You know what? I'm going to close it out like this. Get some leverage. Figure out where your time is best spent and where it's worst spent, and leverage that shit where you're not needing to spend your time, so that your business can grow and you can just fucking ace it. There you go.
Fire.
All right, guys. Shot. Good to see you all on, and we'll be back next week.